Hello everyone, this is T55 and welcome to Bottoms Up. This video is sponsored by the creator of this graphic novel, and I'm going to read it on video. Yeah, let's start. Team Petrika. Yeah, it's in Bulgarian, but oh well. Okay, I'll be reading the English words only. Amongst the vast ranks of the kingdom of the Thaumaturgists existed the Hopsruk province. It was a small piece of territory that most dwarven cartographers added to the bottom left corner when they made maps of their holdings. Also like New Zealand, guys. Quick save, yeah! Okay, can I... Okay, let's make it like that. What is this? I'm not sure. Maybe only the reading I'm going to skip anyway. So yeah, like New Zealand. This unusual practice had come to pass even though Hopsbrook had never actually been part of their territory. There were two main motives for this. The first, purely for reasons of convenience. Since to the southwest the province separated the boundaries of the two counties and the maps always had to end somewhere. Okay. And the second, because over the years a lot of dwarves had settled around these parts and now coexisted with the humans in what we might call an idyll if we looked at things too optimistically. I really hope you guys can hear my voice. Quite difficult to reach, tucked away relative to most civilized settlements, and now but surrounded by a ring of high mountain ranges. Hopsbrook was always considered by everyone to be too remote a place for anyone to even remember about. Not to mention the countless myths and legends that floated about the province, and especially its inhabitants. Thaumaturges of yore now like always continued to take the Hopsbrookrians for mere simpletons. It was common knowledge that they had no interest in the magical arts or in any other kind of art besides wind making and a few other more ordinary crafts. Indeed, the inhabitants of this rude countryside spoke rather strangely, swore often and unceremoniously, and had difficulty communicating with foreigners, yet they said a however modest culture of their own. But their isolated lifestyle had its good sides. Like you can maybe drink a lot and have no problems. Who knows? For example, if it had really occurred to any of them to demand autonomy from the kingdom, the Hopsbrookis would have gotten it long ago by now. Except they could have gotten themselves a lot of unnecessary headaches had access that way. Either way, in their current situation, their only problems were the ones they created amongst themselves. And of course, the eternal danger of this year's harvest failing or someone's wine turning into sour before the frosts were over. Oh no, not the wine! All in all, one could talk endlessly about the area where the story took place, just as its inhabitants could, without difficulty talk endlessly about themselves if only they would start once. Oh wow. What a hidden narcissist. So let me give them no occasion and go straight on with the story, since just now one of them heard me and took it up to tell it for me. Ha! And his tales, rest assured, will turn out to be riddled with things you wouldn't want reaching the ears of your small children. Yay! So this is a clock, it seems. And it's daytime. Yeah. New locomotion. Okay. It all started on a usually gloomy afternoon at the beginning of the chilling days. Artelon Houdin had as usual relaxed in his old oft-repaired rocking chair. Is it the name Arteron? Arteron. Okay. He had also assumed the standard posture for the circumstances. Right hand clenched into a fist supported the heavy head. The other upper limb was hanging off the side of the chair, barely clutching a now almost empty bottle of Tretortaswick. I would guess that is a wine, guys. The man had been dozing on the porch for more than 2 hours. Half of that time was spent periodically popping the bottle. He had then moved on to gawking at a slightly awkward angle at the weather-beaten sails of the village's only windmill, unluckily located right in his narrow backyard. Oh yeah, here it is. In fact, the plot was only given to him for temporary use a few years ago by the then mayor. But that memory was now too far in the past, and the old man was beginning to feel the place as his own. Oh no, someone is going to come and take his house, oh no. Thought he had long since moved on from his former lifestyle, Houdin's glorious history and successful military service for the sake of Habsburg was still enough to provide him with such minimal privileges, some sort of livelihood, and to some extent the respect of most of his fellow villagers. That was, generally speaking, wherever he chose to live in the countryside, apart from some more specific regions where his status meant less and less of late. The new situation would undoubtedly have inconvenienced the local farmers, but in recent times the climate in the area had gradually become unfavorable and grain crops were no longer grown. As a result, the mill had long been abandoned, and so the old man found himself the only one who had a problem with it. Then burn it down to the ground. Not that he couldn't solve it relatively easily. Yes, burn it! A few days of disassembly and lumber removal and it would have been ready. Not just burn it, but... Okay, I'm disappointed that they didn't point out that you can just burn it, but okay. And he didn't care much that he had been forbidden to touch any of the few buildings in the courtyard when he was offered a place to stay. Yeah! Don't care. Still, the prohibition didn't bother him as much as the real danger of a wall collapsing on top of him while he slept. Oh, that's a nice place to see, bro. Like, yeah. He just hadn't had the inspiration he needed to get down to any business at all to this day. He has been living for years there. What inspiration do you want more than that? But frankly, it was getting urgent. The little house behind him had been the first time he entered it, but now it looked more like a ruin. It was blowing rather harshly at the moment, but still, the bent and ripped plates of the mill barely moved. Are they moving? I don't think they're moving. Oh! Alteron remembered to pick up the bottle again. Good job, bro. Good job. Drink. Between those actions, he saw no other reason to move. By the way, guys, this video is recorded on Christmas, so Merry Christmas to everyone who celebrated. Yeah. Anyway, the first few drops of another feeble drizzle drifted down from the flowing clouds. And even though he was standing under the eaves of the porch, the treacherous wind began to send drops right into the old man's face. I hate when that happens. Like, I'm going outside with an umbrella and there's this wind and it goes the rain right onto my glass and I cannot see anything. Maybe he should have moved the chair further inside, but he had no intention of getting up from his seat at the moment. No. Why would he do that? Just freeze hour, I guess. He was already getting steadily soaked on the inside anyway. It wouldn't affect him too badly if the same happened to the outside of his body. Yeah, don't care. Unexpectedly, fast but heavy footsteps could be heard from the entrance of the courtyard, followed by rattling. Ooh, who comes? Someone was trying to pull the rusty latch on the door. And apparently this someone was bulky, but had rather short legs. Oh, I have a friend like that. Usually the old man didn't bother to put the padlock on, even at night. Yeah, who would rob him? He didn't think he possessed anything that would be of interest to thieves, and he wasn't afraid of them or anyone. Yeah! Brave guy. I respect that. After a few seconds of tugging, the uninvited guest finally got a grip of the latch and slid nimbly down the few narrow steps of flat stone set horizontally into the dirt. The village was at the foot of a mountain, and most of the properties around were quite uneven. Yeah, Drago. Okay, your name will be Drago. Oh! Uncle Artie! Cried the newcomer cheerfully, as he saw himself running from behind a tall bush near the well. Húrin did not greet him, but at least put his head up to look at him. That's how you greet people sometimes. Across from him was a young man. Well, at least to the veteran he looked that way, otherwise he was already well into his 50s. I would say 40s here, but I cannot guess ages, I guess. He was wearing a ragged outer garment, of course, quote, wide enough to accommodate his stumpy build. The darkened spots of raindrops were already visible on it. Like most of the villagers, he looked perpetually tanned, due to standing for so long under the scorching heat of Rachel. That was what the Hobsbawkians mostly called the sun. Rachel! Like so? I don't know. The both could be saved with even greater accuracy of his bolt spot, which had even begun to take on reddish hues. Can I see the bolt spot from above? Like, if this guy is short, I'm not supposed to be shorter than him. I like the music, by the way. It's very Elvis 3 Gnomes 3, yeah. This, as his wife had often pointed out before, could easily be prevented by wearing a hat. Only it was evident that the peasant was not at all fond of that article of clothing. Yeah, I don't know where would he get a hat from, like, no idea, no. Even now, he held a dark cup in his hand, but instead of putting it where it belonged, he carried it over him like an umbrella as if he thought it would protect him from the rain. Maybe it would, who knows. Draco. How do you drive it? Pudding. I'm rather dragging it. I need to think of a better voice for pudding. Let me try it. I'm rather dragging it. No, pudding is supposed to be older. I'm rather dragging it, okay. Houdin had guessed immediately who was arriving. No one else was having so much trouble with the damn door. Okay, yeah. Besides, in these parts it was considered extremely rude, even dangerous in some cases, to barge into someone's yard without first calling them from outside their fence and asking for an invitation. So they are vampires. However, this was hard twerking and good-natured fellow who lived a few houses down the street had been visiting the old man quite often lately, so now he would come right in without bothering. Yeah, just barge in. And how did things get there? You can just always put a bed up and get stunk, you know. Arteron had a guess, but he wasn't sure. Although everyone in the village knew each other, the reason for it wasn't always clear. Because the village is small and people just know each other, I don't know. The fact was that for a year or two the two still felt a little closer than they had before. Oh! They had started doing each other favors, or rather the veteran was doing the favors. I would guess they are taking down the tree. Meeting for a drink on boring late afternoons like this one and discussing simple things over small talk. The veteran doesn't look bad either. Perhaps it all started by accident one evening when Houdin surprised even himself with the decision to stop by the local tavern. That was his greatest mistake, wait, wasn't it? Let me just wasn't he bald here? And no, he's not bald here. I guess his hair is meant to be from back there, I don't know. However, he didn't have many memories of that event. Oh, he fell asleep. And so do I! He didn't fall asleep, that was an answer to the dialogue they were having here. And so did I! The peasant hid under the porch, leaned against the railing and was silent. Throw the bottle at him. Come on, you know you want to. His interlocutor waited for him for a while, and when nothing followed, decided to break the silence anyway. Would you like me to treat your pipe? He spoke rather haltingly and ripsy, but it made no impression on the other man. Okay, I'll try that. Would you like me to treat you to a pipe? That's better, I hope. Ah, no. Thank you, Uncle Artie. Oh, he's his uncle now. I'd love to hit one, but see, there is another matter. I've come to ask you again about that, Abby, you know. Abby. Hyudin looked at him from under his eyebrows, but didn't interrupt. I think I've become the victim of a new attack. You know, the barrel under the set behind my house where I put the cheese to ripen? Hey, this morning when I got up and went to take some out for salad, I saw somebody had looked inside Uncle Artie. Oh no, somebody looked inside his cheese, what he will do? And he took at least a couple of Kairos. Oh no, Kairos, no, not a couple of Kairos, that's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. While he was explaining, the solid man waved his hands excitedly several times and his hat along with them. Load about at him, you can do this. This must be the 5th Marok raid since I started complaining to you. And I thought I had become more cautious since then. True, last night I was a little drunk and didn't listen too well, but the woman as always was up and down. Oh yes, of course the woman will be up and down. The rain started raining more. The poor thing still can't get used to the fact that the night is for sleeping anyway. So she says. She hasn't heard the pig barking. The pig barking, okay. Isn't the pig supposed to oink or something? Even before the end of the story, Hyudin began to nod understandingly. Yeah, he doesn't listen to him at all, right? Or so he hoped it would seem. I was right. Look, Drago, I've told you this some of times. To you and those annoying pricks who never stopped harassing me unnecessarily. I can't help you anymore with this matter. Come on, bro, you're a veteran. Get out your sword or I don't know, bow and start doing something. The villager was obviously expecting such a response, so thought there was hope in his gaze. Well, how come, Uncle Artie? Sorry, I remember what you said, but it's supposedly your speciality. Everybody in the village has already learned that in the past you often had to deal with such vermin, even bigger. Learned is putting it strongly. Rather, they made up some stuff vaguely resembling the truth based on I don't know what. I knew when I came here I had said I had said more about myself than I should have. If you ask me, Drago said under his breath, knowing how nothing stays hidden, concealed for long. It's surprising they only started thinking of you now. Hearing that, Hyudin frowned even more. Poor Hyudin. I can relate to this guy. Just let him stay and get out and don't bother this old guy, bro. I should be happy, right? Anyway, at least they got one of the facts as it is. Whatever I've dealt with has been, as you yourself qualified it, in the past. And the work in question didn't involve chasing various greedy beasts around basements and attics at all. He shifted in his chair with practiced movement. Besides, as you can see, I'm too busy right now. Oh yeah, drinking. That's a busy thing. The older man looked disappointed. He bowed his head thoughtfully and finally put the head back in its place. I'm clapping if you cannot hear. Don't go moping around, Aterun said after a rather long pause. If you want, I can give you at least one savvy way to save your cheese. Go to the blacksmith Taru and tell him to. Ah, Taru! Drago gasped at the mere mention of the name. I can't say anything to him. You know how he is. I know him well enough. I haven't lived in this village since yesterday. But if you ask him, it will work. Well, I mean, I would guess Hurien would like to live in this village since yesterday. I don't know. I don't get the impression he enjoys talking with people much. Okay, promise him you get him a few of those spicy beers that only he likes, and do the old trick. Treat him once and put the others off until he forgets. Oh yeah! I'll try that in real life someday. Hopefully I don't forget. And in return, he'll invent you some kind of clamp to hold the lid of the barrel. Let's not make it too hard to open, but let's not make it something simple either. Houdini is smart. He'll still dig you some old iron parts from somewhere. Hearing this, the peasant's face brightened a little, but his look still showed doubt. Well, well, Uncle Artie, we'll see what happens. I was thinking of a threesome... Sorry. I was thinking of at least swimming the resort with a bigger rock tonight. Won't work. The Marlocks aren't particularly cunning, but they are pretty strong for their size. If you ever see them, which is unlikely since they... I've actually seen them, Dragon interjected suddenly. A few times even. Good, if you say so. So I just wanted to mention to you, don't be fooled by their skinny measly arms. The villager slighted subtly, then snorted and said a little more cheerfully than he sounded a moment ago. Thanks, Uncle Artie! Not so, but thanks, Uncle Artie. Yeah, like that maybe. Thank you very much. If you need help with anything, tell me at once. Or if you'd like, I can help with the grafting of your fruit trees. You know, I've learned how to do this pretty good now. Don't remind me about work, but go inside and get another little bottle. A faint smile tugged at the corner of Hurien's lips. I hope you guys can distinguish between the narrator voice and Hurien. Like, Hurien is, don't remind me about work, and the narrator is, a faint smile tugged at the corner. Hey, you probably won't, but anyway. And get your pipe filled with my stuff, you know where I keep it, don't you? Dragon nodded, but now Drow Knight happily and scurried to the watch closet at the back of the house. He left the front door ajar, ajar, and a few seconds later there was a crash of glass behind Hurien. Oh no. I found some of last year's warm wine, Drago's voice swallowed deeply. And besides that, there are quite a few bottles of something green behind the crates here. Hurien suddenly seemed to wake up. Oh no, the green stuff. Ah, leave those, he cried harshly. I tried to make a minty liqueur, but it didn't turn out very nice. I'll drink it myself when the time comes. That sounds dark. Okay, I think that is chapter 1. I don't know. Well, thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.